China kept watching, and America flew away with the treasure. The Venezuela oil game and Trump's move. The world's largest oil reserves, the land is Venezuela's, the wells are its own. But the oil was running China's factories. For years, the dragon quietly laid pipelines, gave loans, and in return kept filling its tankers with millions of barrels of oil every single day. Everything was running smoothly. Then suddenly, America makes an entry. And the game flips. The oil that China had started treating as its assured income now begins flowing to other markets at America's signal. The question is, did Trump really snatch away the path to a $15 trillion treasure from China's mouth? And if yes, how? You should know that Venezuela is no ordinary country. This South American nation sits on the world's largest proven oil reserves, around 303 billion barrels of crude oil. Put a price on it, and the figure reaches nearly $15 trillion. Despite such immense wealth, Venezuela has been crushed for over a decade under economic collapse, inflation, political crisis, and the burden of foreign debt. From the outside, it looks like a paradox. So much oil, yet poverty. But hidden inside this paradox is China's debt trap and America's new move. China and Venezuela's friendship is not a sudden story. In the late 1990s, when the US slightly loosened its grip on Latin America, China sensed the opportunity. With sweet words like South-South cooperation and non-interference, Beijing embraced Venezuela. During Hugo Chávez's era, this relationship grew deeper. China said, "We'll give you money, infrastructure, weapons, technology. In return, we want just one thing, oil." Slowly, this relationship turned into the oil for loans model. Take loans and repay interest or installments not in cash but in oil. According to aid data, a research lab at William and Mary University in the US, between 2000 and 2018, Chinese state banks lent around $106 billion to Venezuela. This was the largest loan package China gave to any single country. By 2017, Venezuela still owed about $44 billion. This is where the story gets even darker. According to insiders at Venezuela's state oil company pdvsa, the oil sent to China was not just exports, it was loan repayment. Around 6.42.000 barrels of crude oil and refined fuel were sent to China every day. But the money earned from selling this oil did not go directly into Venezuela's treasury. It went into a special account over which Beijing had real control. In other words, China had built a system where it was recovering its own loan, without even asking Venezuela. Now pause for a moment. The key point here is that this was not just a business deal. It was geopolitical leverage. A report by the US-China Economic and Security Review Commission says that despite US sanctions, the China-Venezuela relationship remained strong because China found ways to bypass American restrictions. Selling oil through third-party companies, changing shipping routes, manipulating paperwork. Everything continued. Then came 2017. Venezuela officially defaulted. That is, it admitted it could not repay its debts on time. After this, things became even more opaque. From 2019 onward, Venezuela stopped publishing its economic data altogether. Institutions like JP Morgan estimate that China is still stuck with $13 to $15 billion, while some put the figure closer to $10 billion. No one knows the exact number, and perhaps that uncertainty itself became China's biggest weakness. Now comes America's forceful entry. During Donald Trump's presidency, the US imposed harsh sanctions on Venezuela. On the surface, these sanctions were meant to weaken the Maduro government. But beneath the surface, another game was being played, breaking China's oil pipeline. The US tightened the noose around pdvsa's international transactions. Dollar payments became difficult. Shipping insurance, payments, logistics, hurdles appeared everywhere. Trump's strategy was simple. If Venezuela's oil comes under the control of the US or its allies, China's grip will weaken. And slowly, that is exactly what happened. Under American pressure, Venezuela was forced to diversify its oil export routes. The oil that earlier went to China, directly or through roundabout paths, now began moving toward other buyers. The US granted limited licenses to some companies, allowing Venezuelan oil to flow into America or US-friendly markets. This is where China's calculations collapsed. Because for China, this was not just oil. It was a loan recovery mechanism. If the oil does not reach China, how will the debt be recovered? That is why the dragon emerged as the biggest silent loser in this entire episode. Now imagine China's position. On one side, it had poured in billions of dollars, dreaming of long-term oil security. On the other side, America shook the very foundation of that dream using the global financial system and sanctions. This is the same China that expanded its influence across Africa, Asia, and Latin America through debt diplomacy. But the Venezuela case showed that when the US steps directly onto the field, even the dragon's moves can fail. The impact of this game is not limited to Beijing and Washington. The global oil market was shaken as well. Venezuelan oil is heavy crude, not easy for every refinery to process. The US Gulf Coast refineries have historically been well suited for this oil. Slight easing of sanctions and new arrangements benefited America. The oil stayed the same, but the buyer changed. Now the question: did America really snatch a $15 trillion treasure from China? The truth is more nuanced. America did not directly pick up the treasure, but it broke China's exclusive access to it. And in geopolitics, that is the biggest strike. Cutting off access. For Venezuela, this story is bittersweet. On one hand, China's iron grip loosened a little. On the other, the compulsion to operate on America's terms increased. The Maduro government is still in crisis, but now it has a bit of room to maneuver. It can use oil as leverage to talk to different powers. One big lesson comes out of this entire episode. Natural resources are still the biggest weapon of global power. The only difference is that wars are no longer fought with tanks and missiles, but with sanctions, contracts, and shipping routes. Trump used Venezuelan oil as a strategic weapon against China, and for now, this move has worked in his favor. But the story does not end here. China is not a player that accepts defeat in one blow. Beijing will look for new routes, new deals, and perhaps repeat the same model in another country. The question is, will the next Venezuela be somewhere else? And will America be able to play this game everywhere? When you hear this story today, it is not just news about Venezuela or China-America. It is the geopolitical script of the coming decade, where oil is not just fuel, but the currency of power. And in this currency war, for now, China kept watching, while America played the game and walked away with the advantage.
If this video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources: news from various news agencies, opinion polls, and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.